Hey guys, Gardo97 again. Finally, with the next part of the Q&A/Ask Me Anything thing. And I hope nobody thought that I'd forgotten about this thing, but no, still doing this, so let's quickly get on with the first question. So, Arrow Dodger asks, what to you is a good loadout for a Grunt mobile suit? What is the minimum to you? So now the thing is, I can't really give a quick and easy answer for that. For me, what's really important isn't necessarily, like, how to put this, that you can put a lot of stuff, that just a mobile suit has a lot of stuff on it, but also that it has a possibility to have a lot of different loadouts. So you can really, in my opinion, there are two good ways of doing this. You either have the dagger way or the strike way, as in Gundam Seed. You have your base model and you have a lot of different add-ons. Also kind of like the Gundam F90 does. So you have your base model and you just have all these different models that you put on there. And it was really kind of made mainstream by the Strike Gundam. You want long-range support, you've got the Launcher Strike, you've got the Doppelhorn, or if you want to go batshit crazy long range, you've got the Nuke Striker. You want to do close combat, you've got the Sword, you want to do some high speed combat, you've got the Ale, and so on and so forth. So that is a really good way of doing that. Or you do it the Jim way or the Zaku way. You have a solid base model and you have all these different kinds of variations. But now, a good standard loadout for a Grunt mobile suit, like I said, what to me is important is you have a lot of different options. But the thing I would go for in just the standard Grunt machine, and well, it's also kind of mission dependent, like, or what you're going for. An example that really comes to mind here is the Jim Light Armor type. In general, I like having mobile suits with a bunch of different options. But then comes along the Jim Light Armor type, which is armed only with, I think it's classified a beam rifle, what it's holding. It's like something between the Gundam's beam rifle and the Jim beam spray gun. So that's a really good thing because it's made to be a fast assault type mobile suit, and you don't want anything extra cluttering that and kind of holding it back. So now to kind of get back to the base of the question, a good standard loadout, I would say something that's kind of varied, just like a kind of a real soldier. The thing Gundam likes to do is you just, especially on the Federation side, your mobile suit has like your one main weapon, a beam rifle or a beam spray gun, and you have your dinky Vulcans. They're nice to have. They're important to shoot down missiles or smaller targets, tanks, airplanes. But that's kind of about it. You have your beam saber, but that's about it. What I would go for is you have your main weapon, then you have like a sidearm more. That's one of the possibilities, like the Jim Kai did with the Master Grade or the Jim 1.0. You can put the beam spray gun as a sidearm, kind of like a pistol, like a soldier has. They usually carry just a pistol as a sidearm, and then they have their main assault rifle. Or for a Gundam, you can give them a beam rifle or a bazooka or something as a main weapon. Then you still have your Vulcans, which are important for smaller targets. And then you have your beam rifle, your beam spear, or something for close combat. And then this can be changed out for perhaps a shotgun. For example, if you have a pilot which used to pilot a tank, and he becomes a mobile suit pilot, then maybe he doesn't really like a beam saber and he wants a shotgun instead. That's a good alternative. Or another kind of base loadout I like is you have your standard weapon, kind of like a beam rifle, something more anti-mobile suit. You have your beam rifle, you have a machine gun kind of thing, or maybe a shotgun. And then you have something slightly heavier, either a bazooka or a Sturmfaust. So kind of two weapons that have an impact. Not just you have one weapon that has an impact and then you have a Vulcan gun, or some mobile suits have like little Vulcan guns in their wrist area, like mounted on their arm, like the Galgut Jaeger has. The Exia has that as well, though I don't think it really uses it a lot in the anime. But the Exia has that kind of thing. That's like, it's a neat extra weapon. And for example, if you have a commander mobile suit, you could have like a combination of everything. You have your side holstered weapon, your pistol that's mounted on your side skirt. You have a bazooka, and then you have a machine gun or a beam rifle kind of thing like that. That to me is like what's important for a grunt mobile suit. And also they should have the ability to store them on the base model, like not have something extra required like a striker pack. Great example of this would once again be the Jimkai. It has the storage place for those sidearms. You can put the beam spray gun on the side skirt. You can put the bazooka on the back skirt. Not really on the back skirt, it's like on the storage rack in between the back skirts. So that to me is a really great base grunt mobile suit, simply because it's a great base model, and then it can just mount all of the extra weapons if you need them there. Same thing with the Zakus. They also have a lot of storage capabilities. You can put either a machine gun or the bazooka on the back skirt. The side skirts will either mount a heat hawk or grenades or a Sturmfaust. So that's kind of the thing that would be like a minimum to me. Something that packs two weapons that pack a punch, and then you have a melee weapon, either a shotgun or a beam rifle or something like that. Then, second question, what is your favorite chip from Gundam, as in Archangel, Wide Base, etc.? Not something like Luna Maria X Shin. Because yeah, that is indeed, even though that thing is official, the way they made it happen in the anime is kind of like people who ship random people together, like, well, they really didn't care about each other, but they would make a nice couple. Then, going on with my favorite ships. So, two ships that I really like are both kinda because of Girin's greed. And one of the main ships I like is the Albion, simply because that was the main ship I used in Girin's greed. The Albion is simply all around perfect. It has great offensive power. It can operate on Earth and in space, which is something almost no ships can do, and have the ability to attack everything. They can attack all kinds of enemies, which is something I think only the Wide Base class, well, the Pegasus class ships can do, such as the Albion, and that one is the pinnacle of that technology. So the Albion was a really great ship in Girin's Greed, and also in the anime. Looks really nice and sleek, and from all of the Pegasus class assault carriers, the Albion also looks like the most realistic of the bunch. And the second ship I like is the Magellan. It didn't really get its time to shine in the anime, but once again, in Girin's Greed, the Magellans are killers, especially in the early campaign. What I always do is I produce a few extra Magellans and give them to all of my top-ranked officials, to all of my top-ranking commanders, and they sweep the floor with the Zakus, completely the opposite of the anime. But you also have to really know how to use your Magellans, really use the Minovsky particles, and really focus all your fire. It's not that easy to use, but once you get the hang of how to use your Magellans against the mobile suits, against the Zakus, your Magellan team is almost invincible. Not even Char and his Zaku can turn the tide against the army of Magellans. So then, moving on to the next question. Oh yeah, Mr. Bronx 718, Mr. Bronx, sorry. Mr. Bronx 718, can I really ask you anything? Yes. And then, Zachary Serino, how come you have not reviewed any real/mastergrade Gunpla? Also, I would enjoy to watch those too. Well, the thing is, well, first of all, I have reviewed a few of them, though I have to admit, I can't really remember the last time I reviewed any of them, especially real grades. That's been a while. But the thing about the real grades is I'm not a huge fan of the real grades. They're... if I have something with that kind of engineering, I prefer to have it a bit bigger as a master grade. And then for the master grades, that's also a line I like master grades, but I wouldn't per se want to pay the prices they usually go for. The thing is, I can buy a lot of high grades for the price of one master grade, so I generally don't buy too many master grades, and I really like 1/44 scale high grades, so it's kind of that master grades aren't really my thing. That being said, I do have a few master grades, but I don't think I've reviewed almost any of them. I have the Goof 2.0, I have Johnny Raiden Zaku 2.0. Oh yeah, I also have the Gym Sniper, which I haven't built yet. So maybe if other people also want to see the review of the Gym Sniper, leave a comment down below. Do you want me to prioritize the build of the Master Grade Gym Sniper or of one of the Blue Destinies? Let's put it out there and see what is going to be my next build. Then moving on, Zero GTX 741, best songs from any Gundam series. And whew, the best songs, the ones that immediately come to mind are almost entirely from Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny. Hono no Tobira, love that song. Akatsuki no Kuruma, that was one of the first songs I really liked. Zips from TM Revolution, and that thing is still my ringtone and has been for a really, really long time. Other songs I really like, Ana no Ishii Data no Ni, the first ending, especially the retracts version from the remaster series, that one was fantastic. Now Akatsuki no Kuruma, even though that was also remastered, I prefer the original one. And other ones, yeah, another one from Gundam Seed Destiny, Shinkai no Koroku, or that song that plays when Stella dies, Hajimari ga Yue. That is, well, it's not really a song, more like an OST, but that is a really great soundtrack. I love that thing when the Earth Alliance mobilizes all of their mobile suits in defense of Heaven's Base. I've said my fair share of bad things about Gundam Seed Destiny, but that scene was simply epic. Now, some other great songs. Oh yeah, one I really like is from the orchestral... well, it's the orchestral version of Char's counterattack theme. The final, the last part of that was really great. I also have, there was a great orchestral sad music from Zeta Gundam. That was also really great. That was from the same album as the orchestral from Char's counterattack. So those two were really great. Shot of Honor. But once again, I'm kind of getting into OSTs now. But, well, I guess soundtracks count too. That's a really great one. Mobile Suit, of course, the theme song of the most badass Grunt ever. That one was really nice. And, well, those are the ones I can immediately think of for, yeah, well, for best songs, I guess that is enough. Then, oh, another question from Zero GTX 741 or 741 or 741. How many Meyrin related figures, cards, gadgets, etc. do you have? Could you show them to us? Well, the thing about them is, I was planning on collecting all of the figurines first and then making a video about all of them. So I was definitely planning to make a video. But the thing is, I've been hunting this one figure for over a year now, and it has never shown up on eBay for as long as I can remember. And if I didn't have photographic evidence that it existed, I would have thought that it didn't exist at all. But I have seen figures from the same line that have shown up on eBay, but no Meyrin at all. And it's the Zodiac Kara Fortune thing. And I have all of the different possibilities saved on my eBay search. So I have like Gundam Kara, Gundam Zodiac, Gundam Fortune, Gundam Meyrin, no, just Meyrin. I have even Flay saved, because sometimes the sellers will mix Meyrin and Flay up. They'll mistake one for the other. I've seen Meyrin figurines being called Flay. I've seen Flay figurines being called Meyrin. So I have all of the saves, sir. I have all of... Oh, Jesus. I have all of the searches saved, but still, I haven't been able to find it at all. It's not even a case where, like, I saw that tiny figure for $50 or something. No, it just doesn't seem to exist. So, if anyone happens to have this thing right here, shoot me a message, will you? We'll be able to work something out. And let's see, according to my figure collection, I have... Oh, that's the wish list. So the thing is, I kind of added everything to the wish list that I don't have yet, but I don't really count the... oh god. The resin. Man, that was hard to come up with. So I don't really count the resin figures for a complete collection. Partly because, well, first of all, they're really hard to find, and secondly... yeah, they sometimes feel kind of out of character. Ever so slightly. And I really like Meyrin, and, well, this looks more like someone doing a random cosplay or something. But let's see. Owned, according to my figure collection, I have 23, but it doesn't seem to count a double, so that makes it 25. And I also have... doesn't seem to have good lighting because of my screen, but... this bootleg figure. Why is it bootleg? Well, Gundam Seed. She's not from Gundam Seed, people. Also, the figure of the strike here, when you look at the shield, completely wrong. There's no yellow line here. There's no yellow thing in the middle. No white at the top. Also, really weird lighting with my monitor. Oh well, I have that too. So, I'm thinking about just making a video without that figure because I can't seem to find it at all, though I really hope I will eventually find it. So that's definitely going to be a future video. Moving on, Dato 240Z, do you think the Zaku 2's shield is adequate protection for the mobile suit? Well, I don't think so. The thing about Zaku 2's shield is that the way it's mounted on the shoulder, it doesn't really do a lot other than protect that very specific portion of the arm. The way the Zaku 1 did it was way better. The same shield with added spikes, and it's on the arm. That way he can, well, the Zaku 1 can defend all over his body. I mean, if his shot's coming directly for the cockpit, all he has to do is move up his arm and he'll block it. And even if you want to use it as a melee weapon, you know, just smash someone with it. You have those spikes on there, so that's really good. The way I would design that machine is simply have the Zaku 2's shoulder-mounted shield in his hand, the way the Zaku 1 did it, and add two spike shoulders. And considering the other mobile suits Zeong has used, I think Zeong kind of realized it themselves. When you look at the goof, that's kind of the way I just described. You just have the two, you know, round shoulder guards with the spikes on there. You have a standard shield. The Dom once again follows that same design aesthetic. You don't have some... Also, another problem with that thing is it's weighing down the Zaku without really adding anything to it. It's... In combat, I don't see that shield catching a lot of bullets or, well... it won't catch anything life-threatening enough to warrant having that thing slowing the Zaku 2 down. The Zaku 2 is actually slower than the Zaku 1 because it is heavier with the added stuff on it. So the base Zaku model is heavier and slower than the Zaku 1, so I would just do away with that shield. And when you look at also newer mobile suits, it seems like they kind of did away with that, because I can't think of any mobile suit from Universal Century that is not a Zaku descendant that really does that. when you look at the Gelgook, you just have the normal shoulder with thrusters on it and a separate shield. Even the Gelgook Marine also utilizes that same knuckle shield that the Zaku 1 did. And then the machines that still use it, like the Gyaradoga, that's the Zaku descendant. The Zaku 3, obviously a Zaku descendant. You have the Hyzak, even more obviously a Zaku descendant, because you can't actually pronounce that Hyzaku. It's written the same way in Japanese. So I think that even kind of in universe, the designers noticed that, well, it's not really the best kind of protection. Moving on, Ethan Eliafan, I really hope that I pronounced that correctly. What's your opinion on the 144 scale high-grade Universal Century Neo Zeong? Is there any chance of you getting it? Well, didn't I do this video just on time? 5 months too late. Actually, I'm gonna get it. I hope that I'll get it tomorrow, because I have finally sorted out everything with our ridiculously incompetent customs here. And in case anyone thinks that I'm just randomly insulting them because they took too long, they sent me a mail back consisting of 1 sentence and 4 grammatical mistakes. I don't really have a lot of I don't really hold them in high regards anymore. Let's put it like that. But, so yeah, obviously gonna get it. And my opinion on it is that I was actually surprised by how cheap it was. Even though it is still a very expensive thing, but I was expecting it to be much more expensive. When you look at the price of Dendrobium, and when you kind of compare the two, I think that the Neo Zeong, it would have been justified if it was more expensive than the Dendrobium, but it wasn't, and actually quite a bit cheaper than the Dendrobium. So overall, I think the Neo Zeong, not having built it yet and kinda haven't looked at a lot of pictures because I want it to be a surprise, so far I'm very positive towards the Neo Zeong, even though it's still an expensive thing. So far I think it's worth it. Then the next question, also from Ethan, when will you review the 144 scale full armor double Zeta Gundam? Because if I remember correctly, I think you have 3 of them. Not sure how many you have built though. I do indeed have 3 of them, because there were 3 in the photo novel. But the thing about the full armor double Zeta Gundam is that it's a remold of the old double Zeta Gundam, which is, I believe, an 85 or 86 model back from the time that double Zeta Gundam aired, and they just threw in the extra parts. Meaning that, one, it looks quite horrible, and actually significantly worse than I was expecting, especially that head. Man, that head is ugly. And another thing is, it's completely a glued together kit rather than a snap together kit, or like a hybrid like the C1 was, meaning that I will have to paint it immediately when I assemble it. And the thing about that is, it requires a lot of paint, to the point that I'm just considering buying a new high-grade Universal Century double Zeta, simply taking those armor parts and seeing how they fit on the newer one. Simply because I'm gonna have to put all of that effort into the full armor double Zeta Gundam and have like a bad outcome at best, because the base model just isn't that great, while I could just get myself a new double Zeta Gundam, paint that thing, and see how that works out. Problem is, of course, that's gonna be it's gonna require quite some work, and I'm still working on some other things, so it has taken kind of a backseat. Also, I should still order another double Zeta Gundam for that, and the hybrid Universal Century is kind of on the expensive side. So the thing about it is, usually when it's in stock, I just can't throw it on to the heap I already bought. So it's the old thing of, when it's available, I don't really have the money available, and when it's not available, I usually have some extra cash to burn. So yeah. But then again, I guess I could try to build one and just stick it together with masking tape to kind of give you guys the feeling of how crappy that old one actually is, because it really doesn't look that great. So if there are a lot of people who really want to see how bad it looks and how disappointing it is after seeing the C1, leave a comment down below. I'll quickly throw it together, review the thing, and then I'll just see how it works on the Double Z, on the new High Century as well, in the review. So if there are a lot of people who want to see that, once again, leave a comment down below, and depending on how many response I get, I'll see how I can prioritize that thing. And yeah, because, like I said, the C1 was amazing. And for anyone who thinks the full armor Double Z Gundam is going to be the same, sorry, not gonna happen. And I think that's a good moment to end this almost final part. I was, like I said, I think I've said it in the beginning, I was wondering, is this gonna be the final part or not? But looks like there's still gonna be one part after this. So, gonna have to kind of hurry up before I hit my next milestone, which is 2,222 subscribers. I'm actually almost there already, and it's gone so fast, damn. And one thing to look forward to, because I'm once again gonna do something special for that milestone. It's not gonna be a Q&A thing, because, well, you know how long these things take, but I have found something special. I actually found some snippets, some fragments that I wasn't really sure I still had of my very first attempt at doing a review. It's not finished, it's just, I'm not even sure if it still has the intro or not. It was just some random footage that I think I did want to make that my first review. It was of the 1/44 scale Jim Kai. Actually, I think I haven't reviewed that thing yet, so yeah, kind of ironic. It was the first one I wanted to do, but I ended up not doing it at all. So look forward to that, and look forward to how awkward that's gonna sound. Well, that's all for this video, and see you guys next time. Hopefully a bit sooner this time. I'll make sure of that.